everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, owner of the finest comic book establishment
I know it was up there. You
in the world, Comics Cubed, as well as founder of the Kokomo Con, and some other stuff we got going on. Today I'm joined by my old friend, Michael Allen Harrison. Mike, welcome back to GeekStorm.
I'm going to be honest.
It's been a minute.
You're joined by me. Let's. This is obviously my show, not your show. So I'm joined by you. You just happen to be here this week. It's time for a coup.
It's
time for a power struggle.
Let's go with that. Whatever keeps
power struggle.
Yeah.
You know why? I got the list.
Whatever keeps Nancy happy. We let her have that whole say no to drugs thing, and it keeps her happy. So, with that said, he's got the list, the man with the plan. But before we get going into it, let's talk about some stuff that has been going on in the world.
All right. What is that you're doing?
It's the news program section, where we come in with the news. So, Disney just took the crown of the number one financial money-making box office movie of all time. Takes it away from Avatar. Yay. Opens up probably the most anticipated theme park attraction of all time with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And then they post a loss somehow to their financial backers for this quarter. So.
Did they?
Oh, absolutely.
Did not do well.
What didn't?
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've got, again, biggest movie of all time, most anticipated opening, and, oh, hey, thank you for investing in us, by the way. Here's a loss.
Well,
what?
They built Galaxy's Edge. They bought Fox, which horribly underperformed for them so far. So,
what have they got out of it so far? They've got, what, the X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Has there been anything else that they've gotten out of it besides the library?
Two smaller movies.
Nothing. So they got the X-Men out of it for what's been released.
Yes.
And as far as I know, nothing going forward.
Yes. Well, they get whatever money they get from TV.
Gotcha. They'll get the periphery from the stuff that's already done, but anything that's in the pipeline.
They're playing the long game. You got to understand they're playing the long game. So,
with that said, holy cow! I mean, again, these crazy that you would post a loss. Now, I agree. I believe that these are investments, and you don't just throw billions of dollars at something and get it back the next day. They bought when they bought Star Wars, they paid $5 billion, something like that for
$4 billion for Star Wars,
and then they paid like $2 billion, I think, for Marvel or something like that.
Probably.
Either way, though, they paid. They didn't make that money back the next day.
Right. They paid $70 billion for Fox. $1 billion for Fox.
I don't know that the entirety of Fox is actually worth more than Star Wars. I don't know that the entirety of Fox is worth more than the Marvel library at this point.
Yeah,
what you get out of it.
They're buying the catalog. So there's a lot of Fox.
They're buying a lot of remakes, is what they're buying.
There's like 30 years worth of television there.
They're walking away with Alien. They get some good stuff.
They get X-Files.
So
they get
Home Alone. Come on.
Remaking Home Alone.
No need for that. No need.
But it's still pretty crazy. But yeah, Galaxy's Edge has vastly underperformed with the execs coming out and saying, we didn't advertise it at all.
Right.
We didn't feel a need to advertise it at all. And they're saying that it's not performing. But some of this, I think, also has to do with the reality of the situation that we live in today. I'm a huge fan of this sort of thing. I would not possibly think about going to that park right now.
Right.
I wouldn't. I know that there's going to be hardcore crazy fans that want to go and they want to be there day one. But me, thinking that there is going to be a huge crowd, I'm like, I'm not going to that until at least March. Of next year. I'm going to wait for the half-life of that radioactive mushroom cloud to kind of die down a little bit. And if anything now, I would have been thinking, all right, I'm headed over to Universal. Now's the time to go to Harry Potter Land because it might be a little more empty. Even like some of the other parks in Disney, people who wanted to get on the Avatar ride, because it's incredibly hard to get on. This might be a chance to go see that. Everybody's going over to Star Wars. Go and see some of these other parks. So the parks are always so intimidatingly crowded. It's just wall-to-wall flesh. And if there was a chance to get into them and not have, elbow to elbow, it's the time to do it.
I wouldn't go.
So you wouldn't go to any of the parks? You don't like parks?
I wouldn't go to Galaxy's Edge for like a couple of years.
Oh, well, no, I agree with that. I'd at least hold off for a while. But I think that's the thing is this is long term. That park isn't going to be there for 5 minutes. That park is going to be there for at least 25 years
Right.
with additional things going on. Currently, there's only one ride in the park anyway. You get the Millennium Falcon ride, which
Is that it?
again is probably the most anticipated, theme park ride of the year, if not last several years. But still, if you get into there, there's all kinds of stuff to see and do. But it's all money. You want to go build that lightsaber experience?
Right.
That's like a $200 experience. You want to go see the cantina? Well, you're gonna have to buy something in the cantina. You want to do any of these other events? They're all money. The Falcon is the only thing where you actually go on something that is part of your ticket price. They're like, hey, I didn't have to pay extra to do this. So, yeah. What would be your favorite part of Galaxy's Edge if you got to go right now?
I don't care for it. I don't really care. I've said ever since it was announced, I don't really care for.
Why do you hate Star Wars?
I don't hate Star Wars.
Seems like you do.
I moderately like Star Wars.
Sad. Makes me.
I'm not a big theme park guy.
Makes me a little sad.
Okay.
So.
I'll probably never go.
Hobbs and Shaw. You guys see that yet?
No, I want to.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was. It's almost sad that it was the end of the summer kind of a movie because after this, I really can't think of any big, movies left. In fact, the big preview I've been seeing at all the recent movies is the Brad Pitt sci-fi drama thing, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to see that. It doesn't look that interesting.
That's the
to
other
me.
Fox. That's
So,
the other Fox.
Is that what they're getting?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're throwing a lot of money at advertising it.
Yeah.
And as a guy who's into sci-fi stuff,
Ad Astra?
yeah,
Ad Astra?
yes, it doesn't look interesting.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm not going to pay to see that film. Hey, Disney, who bought Fox, and you're pushing this movie, stop. I don't think you have money on your hands. I think you're looking at a giant money pit on this movie.
Your money pit.
I am going to be shocked if it makes its budget back. Brad Pitt's in it. It's a sci-fi movie. Tommy Lee Jones. It's going to have too big of a budget, and the amount of marketing they're putting into it. Because I haven't seen a movie. The last 3 movies I've seen have all had ads, a preview for that on it. It's just not going to make it back. It's going to be. I'm predicting that now. Ad Astra, no good. But Hobbs and Shaw, super fun, action, adventure, the whole 9 yards. Your typical popcorn summer movie. They tried to reinvent the Jason Statham character a little bit by going behind the scenes, because when they first introduced him in the Fast and Furious movies, he is an end-credit scene, and he murders, like one of the most popular Fast and the Furious guys, Han. Walks up at the end, just puts a bullet in him, he's dead. And so he's not a good guy. And then they've played it into when they finally brought him in the Fast and Furious thing, it was kind of against their will. You have to, this guy he's got the skills that you need for this particular thing. So even though you all hate him, you got to use him. And then that kind of brought him in a little bit. And this one, we soften that origin just enough to make it interesting and to get him to the point where he can almost be likable. And we had to rearrange some stuff to make it all work. But overall, him and Dwayne Johnson's chemistry together, absolutely amazing. It's almost like ours. It's so on point, and so it's a lot of fun. And Ryan Reynolds has like a fairly lengthy cameo in it that goes on for quite some time, and that guy is just comedy gold. He is absolutely amazing.
You put him and The Rock in a movie together, that'd be something else.
Yeah, they are so much fun.
That'd be a good. I've always said that The Rock and Jason Momoa would be a good Tango and Cash, but you rough up Ryan Reynolds a little bit. That'd be a good Tango and Cash too.
Yeah, he plays it for straight laughs in this. There's, the Fast and the Furious universe is definitely a borderline superhero kind of thing with the kind of stuff that they pull off and do, and some of the crazy nonsense. But he's definitely playing it up for almost Deadpool style laughs, and like 3 different end credit scenes. There's like a beginning end credit, a mid credit, and then a finale final credit. 2 of them featuring Ryan Reynolds. So heavily worth checking out. But none of them, unlike all the other Fast and the Furious franchise movies, really seem to set anything up. Like I was saying, Statham shows up at the end of credit, kills a guy. Other things have happened in some of these to kind of set things forward. We've brought characters back. This one really didn't get an impression of what they're going to go forward with Hobbs and Shaw, but I'm under the impression that it was #1 at the box office. It's doing the kind of bank that there's no way it's not getting.
Tyrese doesn't like it.
Well, Tyrese.
Okay? If Tyrese doesn't like it, I'm out. Okay.
Yeah. Him and Luda.
I don't know.
I think it's Luda. Mr. Ludacris.
Mr. Chris, then.
Yeah, Mr. Chris.
Sure, I don't know.
They cannot like it all they want, and I can understand because there was no involvement from anybody else. There wasn't any guest cameos like you would have thought maybe they were going to try to sneak something
I hate all
in.
those movies. I'll go see Hobbs and Shaw, but I hate all those Fast and Furious movies. I hate them.
But why do you hate family so much?
I hate them. It's not about family. That's baloney.
It's all about family, Mike.
No.
Wow,
Dumb. Car chase.
Family Guy.
2-hour car chase. Thanks for nothing.
Which then leads us into The Rock's next project. We're looking at Jumanji 2.
Jumanji 2?
Have you seen any of the previews for this yet?
I did.
Did you like Jumanji 1?
Loved it.
Jumanji
Just
2.0, 1.2,
Sure.
something like that.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes, I liked it a lot.
Okay,
We all liked it.
We're adding some
50-year-old Mike liked it. 10-year-old Kyan liked it. What more do they need?
Wow.
Okay, what more do they need?
Well, it appears they needed some Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the guy from Lethal Weapon, but
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah, the Dannies are in.
So, yeah, they look. It looks to be fun, and I think they're going to continue on with the trend of making fat cash.
Yeah.
And they're putting it out at Christmas time.
Ugh.
So it should do very, very well.
Did that Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock, that ever happen?
I think it was under production.
Did it
It's
get
now
pushed?
probably in editing.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay, so they did shoot it?
Yeah, I I can't say that for a fact, but I saw something else while The Rock was promoting something.
Mm-hmm.
He was on set walking with the star of that, doing a thing back and forth a bit
Mm-hmm.
while they were, going from one set to another set or something.
We watched, since we're doing Rock Talk,
Yeah.
we watched Rock Talk.
He's got to be the #1 guy right now.
Yeah, oh, no question. Yeah, he is. But we watched, remember they did the Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yes.
But then they did the sequel with The Rock.
Yes.
And it was...
First one was Brendan Fraser. Second one was Rock.
Yeah, and so we watched the second one.
Okay.
And the other day at home. And
Neither any good.
neither one, no. But and he was so un-Rock-like. He was playing Joe the plumber. He wasn't being. There was at no point where you're like, oh, that's The Rock. He's gonna go bust that or something like that. Nothing like that. It was just him doing a role, which I kind of it was okay with me. I mean, I know he's super charismatic, and I love to see him on screen, but it was good to see him be able to just be an actor instead of being The Rock. Which and if you've never seen it, and I always say this, see the movie Faster. It's got nothing to do with Fast and Furious. See the movie Faster with The Rock. It's his best acting, and he's amazing in it. Faster.
Okay. Well, I mean, he doesn't. I think they figured out that the formula with the last several movies is let The Rock be The Rock, stop being the characters and just be Dwayne Johnson's version of The Rock, and let him go out and do Jumanji and act like that. Let him go out and do
He's got
Hobbs and
millions
Shaw and do stuff like that.
and millions of fans.
Yes.
I watched, since we're delving into Rock Talk, I watched Fighting with My
This
Family.
episode, Rock Talk.
I watched Fighting with My Family the other day.
How was it?
It was great. I loved it.
I want to check it out.
It was really good.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It was really good. He's in it, sporadically. Not, he's a producer on it,
Yeah.
but it was about that girl and
Paige.
her whole deal, and it was good.
Did it follow up with the fact that after all this happens, like she was injured, like?
No, it ends with her getting the title.
Okay, so like very shortly after that, she becomes like the hot thing.
Yeah.
She has a career-ending injury and is now like.
Did she
on
get the title on
sporadically.
her debut? Because that's what happened in the movie.
I
Like
don't
her
remember. I
TV
wasn't-
debut, she took the
I
title
really
from
wasn't
like
watching much of that.
there was whoever the female was at the time that had the title had it for the longest in history, in WWF history, WFE history, and she took it from her that night on her debut.
Go. I'll have to watch it. I'll have to check it out.
It was very black sheep, very very fish out of water. She doesn't belong with all these beautiful models and all that kind of thing. So it was really well done, and Nick Frost is in it. And I like Nick Frost.
I love Nick Frost. Now there's rumors that him and Simon Pegg are doing a new show together.
Yeah, I think that's even more than rumor. I think they both talked about it.
a
So
done deal?
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Next week on Nick Frost Talk, we're gonna
Frost Talk.
catch up with this. Now Mike's got a giant list of stuff.
It's really
He's
not giant.
patiently
I don't like-
waited.
I don't like to
So
brag.
let's
like to brag.
let's hit some of the points on
There's
this.
nothing. There's not a lot of great on here. Okay, honestly. Did you read the comic The Boys?
I never read The Boys. I flipped through The Boys because The Boys is an acquired taste, it is rather unsettling. And as you know, I read a lot of everything, so that kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
Right.
But to go into that as a weekly, it was
Right.
it was a very dark humor laden book with really intense tones of violence and sexual violence that was really kind of disturbing. So I know of it. I have read it, but I did not read it regularly. But I feel like I'm up enough on the comics to hold my own.
And many times, just because it's source material, you don't necessarily have to know that much about it. I've not read. I know that it exists. That's all I know about it. And I watched the Amazon show, and it was great. It was super. Like you said, it was hardcore.
Did you get all the way through it?
Oh yeah.
How many episodes?
10.
10. And are they about an hour long? Or are they?
Ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. But they're they're normal hours. And
do we get a conclusion at the last episode that we feel wraps things up in case there's not another season?
Yeah,
or
sure.
do we feel like there's enough that we can do a second season without having to create something from whole cloth as a new?
No. They it's a good show in that they tied up everything that they started, and then at 90% through, let's say I won't say episode 9 specifically, but towards the end, they threw out a couple things that they could continue on in season 2, and there is a season 2. They're already talking about it.
I'm hearing enough people the chatter through the web and whatnot. It definitely made me think it was going to get picked up.
Amazon said it's one of their highest viewed or highest rated, however they say it, highest viewed things they've ever done. And
now, is Simon Pegg the father of one of the main characters?
yes, and he has a very small part, and he's just like what I was just saying about Dwayne Johnson. He's just in it to be Simon. He's not Simon Pegg in it. He's just a dude.
He is the main character in the comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the whole Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury from the Ultimates. If you were to pick up a copy of The Boys and open it up, you'd go, that's Simon Pegg. I mean, immediately you'd be like, that guy's Simon Pegg.
Oh, wow.
There's no doubt about it. So I think that's why he probably got the role as the father, because it was definitely him.
Okay. Well, he's barely in it.
Yeah, I think this was just a throw him a bone as an appreciation because if I'm going to guess he's probably a little too old now to play that role.
If you don't know anything about it, it's basically what if the Justice League were the Justice League in public, but real jerks and horrible, the worst people ever in private. And it's corporate world, like remember in Mystery Men, you had the Greg Kinnear character that had all the sponsors and all that stuff. There's a bit of that in there. They're very.
Hey, carry on.
They're very sponsor driven.
Really, I'm tired
very
of
up on social media, and you can't save that kid. You can't go and beat up those bad guys because it'll look bad for whatever reason. And so we can't have that. So, but it's really well done. The star of it, well, I won't say the star of it, but their Superman is named Homelander, and it's an actor named, I think it's Matthew Starr or Jonathan Starr, but I think it's Matthew Starr. He was in a show that I really liked on Showtime. I'm pretty sure. Is that what it was? What was it, Sean? Weird. I know there was the absence of this buzzing in my on the right side, but I don't remember. I don't remember him leaving. Now we can begin the show in earnest. This proves it's my show, just so you know. Anyway, it's a good series, and be prepared for. It's definitely rated R, and be prepared for pretty much almost at a parody level at how bad these people are, most of them. So it's that conspiracy of, our main character is trying to expose that, or at least he's discovering it as we see it behind the scenes, but he's discovering how bad these people really are. And so pretty much there's a death in episode 1 that sets the tone for the rest of the show, how brutal and horrible this show is going to be. So I definitely, if you're an adult, watch this show. You'll really enjoy it. And like I said, they're already talking about season 2 and some of the things, how they're going to translate some of the things in the comics to season 2 or season 3, and things I can't even say, words I can't even say on TV.
How'd that go?
Great. Well, let's get back here to take a downturn now. The Joker is getting a lot of attention at film festivals, and not
good or bad attention.
Good attention. They're saying that like Joaquin Phoenix is winning whatever awards at these festivals. Not necessarily the Joker is, but it's getting a lot of buzz anyway. And it's a film festival type of movie, not obviously not a superhero movie. So wait and see.
It's not good. I mean, I'm happy that it's winning festival stuff, but festival awards doesn't necessarily equal box office cash.
No, not at all. But
So-
but it usually has something to do with the quality of a movie, as far as whether it's watchable or whether it's something that's worth your time. I mean, nobody wants another Catwoman, for crying out loud.
Yeah, they don't, but they also don't want another boring ass, lame, over dramatized.
Over what? No.
Nonsense.
Over what?
Dramatized
Nope.
nonsense. So
Nope.
watching him do some Academy Awards style nonsense isn't going to interest me.
You mean acting?
I
Brilliant.
mean, we see Tom Hanks act all the time, and he doesn't bore me to death. But a lot of these times when I see these festival things, they're unwatchable. They are made for critics who get off on that stuff, but the actual audiences who pay the bills don't want to see it. So I hope it's a great movie, but
How do you feel about these
honestly,
movies?
Nothing so far I have seen from it makes me too interested in seeing that
Do you
one.
feel like these movies are in a certain category?
Do I think they're in certain boring?
Do you think that they're like made for a certain reason?
I would imagine that the studios still place hope on these awards, making them. Every executive producer, every director has a cabinet that they like to put shiny things in, and I would imagine it's perfect for that sort of thing.
Okay.
But if you want me to say Oscar bait, I'm not going to say it.
You just did.
Only so you can raise that up. So, let's face it, that's what this sounds like.
Speaking of things that are awesome,
Yeah. My allergy attack that just about made me want to die.
are you okay?
I am, but man,
goodness.
my eyes right now
Thank goodness.
are not on anything, and I feel like
I hate to go on without you.
I had to actually turn the mic off because I was afraid it was going to cause a serious problem.
Disney Plus announced that they are going to be $12.99 for Disney Plus,
Yes.
Hulu, and ESPN Plus if you care. Like, obviously, we don't. So that's a pretty good deal.
It is. The package is $12.99, like you said,
Right.
but the actual just Disney Plus, I believe, is still only $6.99.
Okay.
So if you just want Disney Plus, because as you said, the enticement there, ESPN, if you've got a sports fan in your life, and let's face it, a lot of geek families with 4 or 5 people are going to probably have somebody
Sure.
that can like it. But for me,
Trash. Go ahead.
unless it's going to have curling, I don't really
It will.
care.
It will. That's
You
the plus in
know,
ESPN Plus.
Yeah, the curling would be the way to go. And as for Hulu, well, I already get Hulu.
Right.
But if it was the Hulu Plus version without the commercials, then I'm down for this $12.99 immediately.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Otherwise, I'm
Well, if you're going to pay for Hulu and you're going to play for Disney Plus, you might as well get the package.
$6.99. I think it's $5.99, $6.99. I mean, it's going to be really close. It's probably worth it.
Hulu's got some great programming.
I like Hulu quite a bit. As I said, it's just I have the regular Hulu. I think it's like $5.99 a month or something, where you get very limited commercials, but you still get commercials. Whereas if for $12.99, I'm going to get Disney, ESPN, and then a commercial-less Hulu. Just tell again, who do I write the check to for a year right now?
Right.
I'd write that check in a second.
So speaking of Hulu, we learned earlier this summer that we're going to see Ghost Rider on Hulu. We're going to see Hellstrom on Hulu, and now
what does this have to do with though? Goes back to Disney now also owns.
they bought the majority
80% of Hulu.
Of Hulu. So that's why that's packaged, and that's
Disney,
why
just
you're
like-
going to see non-Disney Plus things. Say Netflix. The Netflix Marvel stuff would have been on Hulu. That's where
Their
that would
new
go.
logo needs to be. Mickey got 3 or 4 fingers.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It just needs to be that little white glove with those fingers like wrapping around the world
think
itself and then tightening.
I think he has Nightcrawler fingers like
So
this.
I know they only have like 3 or 4, but the point being is, gee, what do they not own?
I don't know.
But what's the word coming out about these? Because these will also be coming about at the same time we should be seeing first looks at such stuff as what's going to be on Disney Plus,
Right.
With the Winter Soldier and
Yeah.
Falcon and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Mandalorian is the only thing that's date release on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but-
Everything else is in production.
Holy cow, that looks so good.
It looks really good. It really looks good.
You know what I heard though?
What?
Is that it's going to be on live location at Galaxy's Edge, the hottest place in the entire galaxy.
Actually, not the hottest place
All
in
the
the entire-
fans love it. The
sun.
true
the
fans.
sun. The sun would
love
be the
it.
hottest place in the entire galaxy. That's dumb. That's a dumb thing to say.
That's stupid.
Ghost
You don't
Rider
know that
Hellstrom.
somebody else does it in the galaxy have a hotter sun than our sun.
It's the sun. Hellstrom and
I want to phone in on this that the hottest place in the galaxy isn't necessarily our sun. That's ridiculous.
Okay. they're going to call it Adventure into Fear, and it's going to be more of an anthology series where you've got this character for a while, then this character for a while, and I like that a lot. We've talked many times about wanting like a Marvel team up type of thing, or even
I wanted Marvel Presents for a long time,
that'd
where
be
we
great.
do exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, you don't have to commit to 2 or 3 seasons of something. Just give us one good story, and if that's 6 episodes, awesome. If it's 10 episodes, awesome. If it's great, do it again. But give us the story we want to see, and then move on, because there's so many characters, man. Especially, I mean, you're doing Morbius. If you're gonna do Morbius, there's so many characters you can do.
Well, Marvel's not doing Morbius. I believe Sony's doing the Morbius thing.
I'm saying in general. It's we're diving deep now.
There's a lot of characters.
We're diving deep.
Yeah. And the thing is great, and this is why there's been this thing going on in the comic book world for a while now, where the comics aren't making as much money. How long is it until until Disney dumps the comic side of things? How long is it till Warner Brothers dumps the DC comic side of things? And I'm like, I just don't think any of the people who say this have the ounce of common sense to see how the real world actually works. It's like, Marvel Comics can lose money from now until the end of time. The amount of money that was just made on one Avengers movie is probably more profit than the comics have seen since 1963 when the FF1 first came out, up until today. All the comics, every single thing they've ever done, all the licensing, probably doesn't equal the profit of that one movie. So all they need is for these comic creators to keep churning out material. The new Thor movie that we're looking at, that storyline is taken from something in the last 2 or 3 years in the current storyline. The Winter Soldier aspect, which they used in Cap right up until 2 and 3 and into the movies, was an aspect that was used in the last decade. Deadpool didn't become the Deadpool version that they're using in the comics until about the last 15 years. And Harley Quinn, same kind of way. These are all characters that are fairly new. They're making so much money for these studios that, again, I don't think that Warner Brothers or Disney, any exec, cares about the peanuts that it costs to keep these things going. If they get a new Harley, if they get a new Deadpool, all it takes is one character a decade to make one movie that gets them to $1 billion or even $800 million to make all of it worthwhile. And that's what they do. I mean, we're looking at Damian Hellstrom or whatever getting a show. If that character somehow finds an audience, which I'm kind of doubtful, but you never know. Lucifer picked up and did incredibly well. That character is, as you know, he's a C-list character at best. On his best day, he might have got up there.
Damon.
So if that guy all of a sudden makes that company money, when I hear some of this nonsense, it just baffles me. It's like, people, figure it out. This doesn't exist just in one section of the world. It's about multiple things going on. What's this about Andy Serkis?
He's going to direct Venom 2. He's been tapped to direct Venom 2.
Now, does he have any other director? Andy Serkis, famous for playing motion capture characters. Gollum is the big one, but also the Planet of the Apes things. And he was great as Claw.
Yes.
In
he was
Wakanda
great.
Forever, and even
great.
one of the early Avengers, I think he was in.
He was in
Third Avengers?
Second
Avengers. Great stuff.
Ultron.
He is a wonderful actor.
Black Panther.
I enjoy his stuff. Yeah. He has really been the guy who is the face for motion capture. But he was in something else actually that I actually had no clue. He was under so much makeup as a normal type thing that I'm like, where was Andy Serkis? Oh, it was that guy.
We just watched something the other day that he was in for no reason.
Was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Was he in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, he played.
Who was Roman Polanski in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I don't know. He was in some drama the other day where he played like a mogul, like a Fox News type of guy. But he was, I don't know why it was him.
But he's gonna work. But so we don't know if he's ever directed anything now.
He may have. I'm sure he must have directed something. Otherwise they would.
Second unit director for Lord of the Rings.
Why are we having this long 10 minutes on this thing? You could have
Thanks, producer
said
guy.
that 10 minutes ago.
Just watch us. No, I had no clue.
I'm done.
So he did some work on Lord of the Rings as the second unit guy.
Right.
This will be his first time, and some of it might just even be a payoff.
He's a fantastic actor.
Goes.
I can't imagine. he's definitely somebody fans would get behind. You know, if you're trying to throw things like that out there, you know, throw meta things out there in order to get a movie done or popular. So
I like him. Obi-Wan? What's this Obi-Wan thing? Now, is
Well,
this just
so-
a rumor?
here's the thing.
Is this one of those
It's been a
things-
rumor forever.
Yes.
Deadline came out, and Deadline's usually pretty on top of things. They came out and said, we can confirm that this is done. It's going to be Obi-Wan. It's going to be on Disney Plus, 6 episodes, and that's it, just 1 season. And Ewan McGregor is in it, and he has signed to do it. That's what Deadline says. So it's not confirmed by Disney, but they're not. Oh, it's timer. Disney's not going to confirm it until they don't make announcements like that until their big things, D23 celebrations, stuff like
Sure.
that. So D23 is coming up pretty soon.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a fall thing, right?
I don't know much about D23.
Yeah, I don't
mean, I know what it is, but
Yeah.
they're big Disney's rollout of all their cool stuff.
Right. So that's when you'll see it. If that is true, they're not going to let Disney's not going to let Deadline break their big news for them by confirming it.
Sure.
So that's when that'll happen.
So
This
Disney's
month,
coming
okay.
up. So that would fall in line with some certain things.
Yeah, you're an Oscar
So,
bait.
yeah, I know that. All right, everybody.
That's
Well, next week we'll touch on some new subjects. Probably mention some things about Gen Con that me and Mr. Dukes will bring out into the world. Hopefully we'll be bringing back a Gray family member to
Aw, that's
discuss some
nice.
things, as well as bringing on Todd and Amber of Kokomo Toys and Collectibles to talk about the Toy of the Week. So don't forget, check out Kega for all the fine things. And while you're here, stop on down at Geek Street to check out Comics Cubed.
This
Kokomo's
week's Toy of
Toys
the
and
Week is
Collectibles.
Spawn Dark Ages. Normally $10, $9.50 for you, the viewer.
$9.50.
$9.50.
Right there. There you go.
Toy of the Week.
Toy of the Week. Be groove, everybody.